And welcome to The Price of Fame
where we talk about fashion, art, music,
and entertainment.
I'm Savage Rogers.
And I'm Mike Vegas. We got the beautiful Queen Isis in the building. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Special guest today in the house.
Yeah.
We got Ocie Clelland.
Yeah, Ocie, man.
One of the greatest photographers that had ever lived.
Love it. I love it. Thank you. Bro.
No one has shot me better in my career. He shot me in my career like years ago, years ago.
Yeah.
And then that's probably was like the beginning when he was also starting out too. Like he was better than like seasoned fashion photographers that I had been working with for 5-10 years that was already in the business.
Okay.
Yeah, he does like ballerinas. He does like street photography. He does like fashion photography. He sells his pictures as artwork. His IG, Ocie shot it, because Ocie shoots it. Let's give it up for Ocie Clelland. Big Ocie.
Don't worry, I got the money for you later, bro.
That was a beautiful introduction.
Thank you, bro.
I mean, you got to bring them out if you're going to bring them out.
Yeah. What's going on, man? How's everything?
Nothing much. Just came from work. Stopped home real quick, freshened up, and my boy called yesterday, so I was like, hey, I'm there. Got you.
Yeah.
And thank you for allowing me into your space and
No. Thank you for coming, blessing us with your greatness.
I know, right?
You know you call, I'm coming.
You know it's crazy. That's true. I'm not gonna lie. I appreciate that. You do.
So tell me this, man. I mean, I always want to ask like a veteran photographer. Has Instagram helped, or has it like diluted the craft of photography? Because it seems like everyone in the business, well, not even everyone in the business, but everyone nowadays feels like, listen, I'm a photographer too. They just go to B&H or Adorama and buy a camera, and now.
Or Amazon.
Or even not even that.
Amazon.
Now they'll pull their phone out.
Yeah.
And they'll take phone photographs and feel like, the megapixels is high enough.
I know.
I'm a
exactly.
photographer.
Yeah. It's kind of a complicated answer. I think for me, it doesn't really make a difference. A lot of my work is mainly word of mouth. I meet people like how I met you.
Right.
Was through someone else that I was working with, and then next thing you know, she brought me to somebody. When I met Storm, Debbie called me up and was like, "Yo, my friend Storm needs somebody to shoot some content for her." So I was like, "All right, cool." Ended up meeting him and a whole bunch of other male and female models.
Okay.
So those type of things are more important to me. When I meet people and foster a good relationship with them, that is the thing that helps me more.
Okay.
You put your stuff out on Instagram or Facebook, that's the vehicle so people can see stuff.
Right.
To me, when you get people, Savage comes and says what he said, listen, he's a good photographer, whatever. Now, you're like, you know what? If I need some pictures, hey, Savage, get me in touch with your man. Isis needs picture. Hey, Savage, get me in touch with your man. That, to me, is more important than Instagram.
Yeah.
I just put my stuff out on Instagram,
Right.
Some people will see it, some won't.
Even you, I notice that you're a person you really don't care because you'll delete everything off Instagram at any point.
Yeah.
And then just put it back whenever you want. Like you're not the person that looks at the numbers.
Yeah.
But your work speaks for itself.
Yes. I know when I started photography, I promised myself I would not make social media I wouldn't lean on social media so much.
Okay.
I want my skill to speak for itself. I'm more of a, I want to talk to you, a network type of person. There's only so much you can do when you're on Instagram. DM people back and forth, and some people won't even answer their DMs if they think, especially some women, these guys always in my DM talking about how good you look, and here I come, oh, I'd love to work with you. Yeah, this is just another person like that.
That's true.
Go on.
How do you feel to that? Yeah.
So.
I mean, I feel like with Instagram, you never know who's serious and who's not.
Right.
And it's like some people are in the moment. Oh my God, I like these pictures. Let me DM. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh well, I was thinking about this and now they want to go through a whole story of this and that and the colors and this and that and how this person took a picture like this, but never get down to the business.
Right.
And it's like, how do you? Word of mouth is the best it's a valuable asset to me, word of mouth, rather than just seeing someone on Instagram.
And then I have somebody to come back to. So if he
Yeah.
take horrible pictures of you, you're gonna come and be like, Savage, you told me that your man was the greatest photographer that ever walked the face of the earth.
Right.
Him and Jesus had the same vision of photography, and now look at these pictures. So it's kind of accountability too. You know what I mean?
You know, again, I don't lean on social media. It's a good tool to help. Facebook, Threads, whatever medium you use. It's all good. But nothing's going to replace your skill, your drive, and networking. Getting out there, meeting people. And, I'll stop people in the street. I stopped a couple of weeks ago. I saw a guy, and I looked at him, and I was like, "Damn, the only person I know dressed better is Savage." And I stopped him in the street.
Oh, I need to meet him.
That
I don't
created a relationship.
Oh, OC's lying about that, you guys.
And 2 weeks later, I shot with him, and he hit me up. I want to shoot
No
again.
such
So I was
person
like,
exists. They don't exist. He can't be telling the
that's real
truth. I need to
photography.
see this guy.
That's real. That's real photography. Because you see something and you're wow. I see something that a lot of people probably don't see.
Right.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. Funny story. It was outside of Penn Station. I think it was on my way home, and I was walking down the side street on Penn Station. I was walking Saturday afternoon. A bunch of people out there, and I saw this big, because I think it rained the night before. It's this big puddle of water in the street, and I'm walking by it and stopped. Started walking around the puddle. Took out my phone. I take a lot of pictures with my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there lining up, looking down, and I could see people walking by me like
What are you
looking at? And some guy walked by who was a photographer. I saw him with the camera. I saw him coming. He looked down, looked back, and was like, "That's gonna be a good shot." And I was like, "You understand?
Yeah,
you understand?
Right.
He got it.
Yeah,
he understood.
He saw the vision.
Yeah, a real, and I'm not saying, I'm not trying to say I'm a real photographer, but a true photographer, somebody who has that vision.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't going to see things the way you see them. Right.
So OC letting you guys know that some of you guys might not be real photographers.
We had an interview with Baby Paul. He's a producer. Produced a lot of people.
You probably know who Baby Paul is. He produced like Black Moon. He produced He produced Smith and Wesson.
Yeah.
He from the Beat Miners.
For the Beat Miners, yeah. Evil D and okay.
So I was saying the difference between a beat maker and a producer. And the difference, well, we knew, but a difference between a beat maker and a producer. A beat maker can only make one style of beat or two, but they can't produce or make an artist better. Where a producer, you could come into the studio and say, listen, I like that, but if you sing that in that tone, it's not going to work. Sing it in this tone, and then we're going to stack that, and then you're going to do this and do that, and that's going to work. You know what I'm saying? That's a producer. So the same as a photographer, I feel like a real photographer, I don't want to say everybody, is a fake photographer, but you know what I'm talking about. They could see something, and they're just looking at it like, wow, if you stood that way right near that, and the shadow is right on you, that's going to look nice.
Right.
But some people just say, I'm just going to take pictures. And we just get lucky.
Mike, let me tell you something. So when I shoot with OC, we don't talk to each other.
We don't.
What do you mean?
We don't speak. We don't verbally speak.
So the first time I met Savage, I was shooting for this girl, Storm. She has her own line.
Yeah, M2A. Shout out to M2A. Shout out to Storm. Shout out to Rashana.
That's right. Shout out. And I met him, and I took the... Do you ever show him that iconic picture I took of you?
I have to show him. He probably seen it, right?
So, for some reason, me and him just connected that day. We were talking. I was like, yo, I want to shoot with you. And he was like, yeah, I want to shoot with you too. Your pictures are fine. And I was just like, yo, like your fashion, man,
Yeah.
We went out, probably, I was on vacation that week.
Right.
It was April. I remember it was April. It was 2014.
2014.
April 2014. He was like, and I didn't even tell him what to bring. I was like, yo, you the model. Bring whatever you feel like you're gonna look good in. I'm just gonna come with my camera. And he came through, and I swear to you, we did not speak much that whole day. I would see something, I would look at it, he looked at it, looked at me, walked over, hit a pose. Boom, we good. Let's move on. All day. He spoke to each other.
Wow.
We
Not
did
because
that.
it was the first time we were hanging. It's not because we didn't, I'm getting to know him enough. We just didn't need to.
Yeah.
We were here.
Sometimes
we
you
were
just
here.
connect. It's like, okay, go.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
So
that.
so sometimes if you know what you're doing, you don't even need to speak. It's like telekinetic.
Yeah,
Like, cause
Yeah.
you could, like you said, you could see something that someone else that's not in that field or that doesn't specialize in that might not be able to see.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. We spoke about it afterwards. Like, yo, we didn't even say nothing to each other. We just knew. I was just like, we just knew what we wanted.
Yeah, great minds think alike,
Yeah,
huh?
definitely. That was definitely that's the phrase come to life right there.
Exactly.
Let me ask
definitely.
you. Let me ask you this though. So I know you shoot like a lot of women. Have any of them ever tried to hit on you? Like, have you had any like unprofessional things happen?
No, you know,
Okay.
like honestly, for me, and I get asked this a lot because I shoot a lot of boudoir and stuff like that.
Right.
And you know, a lot of people always like, "Hey, you lucky, man. I'll just hold your lights for you." And I tell people that's what someone's wearing or not wearing is not my concern. What I'm looking for is the best possible way to bring that person out.
Oh, okay.
Whether you're wearing anything, not wearing anything, dress, pants, whatever. My job
Right.
is to make you look good.
Yeah.
And if I make you look good, I make myself look good because I've taken a good picture.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what's in my mind.
Yeah.
And not
Right.
anything else.
Yeah.
Which is good because a lot of photographers are not like that. A lot of photographers tell these girls, they'll be like, "Oh, I can do this for you and that for you. I just
know a
need you
few.
to take your clothes off." I'm sure you know about that in the industry.
I met a dancer that went to Fordham in Ailey.
Right.
She was barely 19 at the time, and for some reason, her and I just kind of forged a good friendship. I still talk to her to this day.
Right.
And you know, once I kind of got to know her a couple months down the line, she was telling me a story about, you know, this guy who shot with her and, you know, eventually made her start taking off her clothes. And, you know, the unthinkable happened. And I was just like, and I felt bad.
Right.
I got 2 daughters.
Right.
You know, that's not
Right.
karma. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And
And a lot of girls don't don't understand that like about the industry. That it is like it's photographers, it's producers, it's agencies, it's a lot of things that prey on you.
I will
Like these
tell you
people
this,
prey on you.
I know a couple of photographers personally who slept with a lot of their clients.
Wow.
They're no longer taking pictures anymore. They're no longer in business. You understand?
Right.
That's crazy.
I'm for me, I'm just like the brief moment of satisfaction is not worth
Oh no.
losing
It kills your
everything over.
reputation.
Right. And it's not worth your reputation.
Right. For sure.
And that's just, you know, where I'm at with it.
For sure, especially now, get reputation, everything can go.
Yeah.
Freedom, everything can go very fast.
That's true. Your whole brand you built up just for a moment of pleasure
Right.
down the drain.
So that's how I look at it. And I don't really, when I walk into a situation, it's like right to work for me. You know, what do you have to wear? You know, what outfit are we doing first? You know, what's your vision for this? Yo, this is, so it doesn't even get a chance to go left or any other way. I'm here,
Right.
you know?
So how long you been taking photos?
Seriously, it started 2012.
Okay, 2012.
2012,
Okay. So next question I have for you is like, what year did you start seeing a transition of more natural looking makeup to what we have right now? Because it's like a lot of people like heavy on the makeup.
Yeah.
And before was I just want to look natural. I just want to hide the imperfections and look more natural as possible. You know what I'm saying? That's going to, you know, blend with my skin and make me look natural.
You know, first of all, I'll tell you this.
I don't want no props to this one.
I'm not a big fan of makeup.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not. You know, the more natural you look to me, the better.
Right.
Will I say it's, you know, necessary, I guess, in photography? Yeah, it is. I'm going to be honest with you, and part of me, Isis, I know you girls like to wear their lashes, but don't come out with them lashes all the way out here. Like, I can't even see your eyes.
Right.
You understand what I'm
Unless
saying?
you're doing unless it's for an eyelash company. Unless you're
Unless
shooting
you're
that
shooting
eyelash
for an
ad.
eyelash company or something
You're shooting
like
that
that.
eyelash
Don't
ad
show-
and you put that on.
You know,
if not,
and there's some people, you know, like I found early on, you know, like I shoot a lot of dancers and stuff like that now. When I'm shooting people, like everything for me, I look at everything, top to bottom, and people always forget certain things. Like, you know, I've had girls show up to shoots, and they want to shoot without shoes and their toes aren't done. Nails
Like
aren't
that
done.
is a no-no.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And I'm just like,
And like
you're not
everything's gonna
serious.
show up. Everything's
You're
gonna
not
show up on his
serious.
photos.
So
just
what,
you know.
what did you tell him?
One girl, I was just like, no, we can't shoot today. I said, we can't. You know, like I gave her some shots because she paid for studio time, but I was just like, I don't want you out here. And I always tell people, I don't want you out here looking crazy. That looks bad on you and it looks bad on me.
It
So
does.
You gotta
That lasts
respect
forever.
that.
What was her response? Because obviously she didn't know any better.
she was upset. But I think, kind of as time went on, she kind of like was like, all right, yeah, he's right.
He got my back, at
Right.
least.
Right.
you
I'm
know?
not, I don't want to, if I'm going to take pictures of you, if you missing a nail and be like, you might not know or whatever, but I don't want you out here looking crazy because there are people out there that I don't
Yeah.
because
And
I
that's
look at
your
pictures all
work.
the time. I look at pictures all the time, so I know when I take it, I know what I take. But there are people out there like my wife who likes to zoom in and see details on the
nitpick.
picture and
Right.
when your nail
Everything.
is missing. And trust me, my wife be the first person to be like, you ain't see a nail was missing?
Right.
And that automatically makes me go, oh.
And that's the
You understand what I'm
representation
saying?
of your
So
work.
it's like, I'm not trying to upset you. I'm not trying to, play you out.
But that's when you
I'm looking out for you. I want you to look your best.
That's when you title the picture, be like, missing nail. The art of missing nails. You gotta jazz it up. You gotta-
right. Yeah. So, I don't, unless it's for effect, there's some sort of theme to having a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
Great. But if there's no reason for it other than you just you think you want to beat your face and don't. You don't need all that.
Right.
I like to see people's natural beauty.
Yeah.
How about like editing or Photoshop? Do they ask you to do that a lot? Or?
Yeah, I've been asked, can you make my stomach smaller?
Oh, wow.
Can you shrink my boobs? Can you, even out the evening out a pimple removal? I had one girl had just had surgery on her nail,
Right.
just came out of her brace, and she had her big scar. Yes, I got to remove that. You know what I'm saying? She was taking shots and you could see it.
Yeah.
So that was something, but
Right.
please do not. Like I've had people in fitness ask me, "Oh, can you shrink my stomach?" Well, why are you here?
Right.
Here's the problem. If I do that, I shrink your stomach, people are like, oh my God, I'm gonna go work out with this girl because she's slim, and then they get to the class and they see you.
Catfish.
You've lied to them.
Catfish.
Yeah,
You
that's 100%
understand?
a
Right.
catfish.
I'm not.
That's 100%.
I'm not. I'm not.
Right?
a fan.
Where
I'm
are
not
you? I'm right here in front of you.
Right.
No, you're
I'm
not.
Society has made it very hard.
Yeah, the beauty standards now.
Yeah,
are really,
the level.
I'm gonna tell you a quick story. There's a dancer that another friend of kind of became a friend of mine. We went to there's a photographer named Anastasia Garcia.
Okay.
Very good photographer, big in the fashion world, and we went to FIT, and she had done a documentary on the modeling industry and how people perceive the modeling industry.
Yeah.
And we sat and we watched the movie, and then afterwards there was like a whole, people were asking questions and things like that, and I knew it, but seeing it drove home in that movie really made something stand out to me. And they were like, all the stuff you see on the runway, all these girls you see on the runway, that is not indicative of people like her, of all the females out there. They say most females out here in the world, they're a size 6 to 12. What do you see on the runway? 0, 2, 4. What else are 4, 0, and 2?
That's true.
Most of the women I know are not.
right, yeah. The
My
beauty
wife,
standards
you
are
know my
crazy.
wife, she's
Right.
small. She's not a 4.
Right.
Not
Yeah,
even
the
close.
the beauty standards
You
are
understand?
insane.
So the beauty standards are just insane. And, for me, I just want to take pictures and show off people for who they are. I've taken boudoir pictures of plus size women, slim women.
Right.
And it's all about me knowing what I'm doing with that camera to make them look good.
Yeah.
And to
'Cause
make them go,
they're
oh
like-
my God, is that me?
They're
When
like,
I hear
Ocie,
a woman
they
or
like,
somebody
Ocie
say
hit
that,
me with the BBL. They're like, Ocie, I
but
need the BBL.
when somebody says that to me, I'm like, okay, yeah, I've done my job.
Yeah. Oh my God, is that?
Yeah, and I've heard that. I just did a shoot with a girl recently, and she's tiny, 4'10", dancer, and first time she had like really been in a dress,
Right.
and she was like, oh my God, you made me look like a queen.
Oh wow.
And I was just like, wow. I was like,
Ah,
okay.
That's good stuff.
I was like, cool. And I was It wasn't like
gratification.
a thing like, oh my God, yo, big up to me. It was just like,
Right.
I'm glad you feel that way.
Right.
I'm glad I was able to make you feel that way. Cool.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. I just see how girls take 60, 70. What did you say, Ice? How many pictures do most girls take before they post it?
Yeah, 35.
About 30, 35.
30, 35.
Yeah.
35.
Yeah, I'm checking with my wife because she's one of those. She'll be like, babe, take a picture of my outfit. I'm like, okay. Take another one. I'm like, this is not a photo shoot. Like it's and like
Everything
30
is a
pictures
photo
later. I'm like,
Every day is a photo shoot. Now.
every day, yeah.
I barely take pictures anymore. My photo album is my clients.
And you want to hear something crazy? I hate pictures.
Nothing of me.
I can't stand pictures.
Right, of yourself.
No,
You don't
I
like
can't stand them.
You don't like taking pictures?
No.
Him either. You know what's crazy? It took me, I always tell the story. People can get tired of me on the show telling the story. But it took me like 15 years just to get him on camera. He never wanted to be in front of the camera. Like
I mean,
everything,
like even me doing this right now, that's
everything
something
he's
I don't
always
do.
done is like you know, like business behind the
I'm
camera.
honestly just more behind the scenes person.
Yeah,
This is
I
just
love
me.
behind the scenes.
I love just being
I
behind
love
the scenes,
making the person
doing what I
look
do, and
good.
then
Yeah.
people like, okay, yeah, Ocie shot that.
Yeah.
OC shot that. Instagram at OC shot it.
Yep.
OC shot it.
I like that.
Speaking of OC shot it, what's your favorite camera to use?
Ooh, well, right now I have a Canon 6D.
Okay.
I also have an old Vivitar camera, film camera that my wife gave me, which I really like. The Sony mirrorless cameras. Oh, love those.
You said Canon and you was like, just jump Sony.
No, I
The
have a
mirrorless
Canon.
cameras,
I love
most
it.
mirrorless
Mirrorless cameras are they're becoming the thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good cameras.
And I have a Polaroid camera. Yeah,
Oh,
I found one. Somebody bought it for me last year. I love that.
Where do you find film for that at?
Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, B&H
Amazon
too,
runs the
B&H
world.
too.
B&H,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Definitely
I have
does.
an old Pentax. I don't know if you know about
Yes.
those.
Yes.
I have an old Pentax at the house. I use it like 3 times.
Yeah, where you
But
gonna
I'm
find
type
film
person,
for
I just
that at?
hold on to stuff, huh?
Where you gonna get film for that at?
B&H.
Okay.
They still sell film.
And they
Amazon.
I think they
Well, film's
develop-
coming back too.
They
Like now, a lot of
develop-
people
Yeah,
are shooting in
yeah.
film.
Yeah.
There's a
Lot of
photographer I
people
know.
shoot
He only shoots film.
Yeah, a lot of
That's all
people
he
shoot
shoots is
film.
film.
There's a few photographers out there that's doing that. Yeah.
I respect that. I respect that. So that's time consuming. You
I've
gotta
seen a lot of
develop and-
photographers. You know the ones you go like this.
Mhm.
That's a
Polaroids.
Polaroid. Yeah, a lot of photographers used to take, and I got a lot of Polaroids. So they used to take a picture, see how you look, and then they look at it. Okay, cool. Pat, 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 pat. Because this is before the digital
Right,
era.
the digital era.
It's
Right.
before the digital era. Nowadays, you could just take a picture, look at it. You couldn't look at it. You couldn't see.
Right.
Right,
what
you couldn't
doing.
see what it looked like. It's
That's
just-
something
it's just-
I love. That amazes me. Like, we came from film and having to go develop it and wait all
Right.
these hours.
Don't
and,
even know what it looks like. Really.
shaking the Polaroid now. I just go click and I'm like, I
Okay.
can see right then what I did wrong or
Yeah.
anything.
The lighting ain't right.
Yeah,
Okay, the
yeah,
angle.
definitely.
Okay, and now you just say, I mean, it's a
Come a long way.
It's
Definitely
not an
come a
easy
long way.
job. People think
No.
it's easy. It's not.
A lot of people, like you said, and you were on point when you were like, everybody's a photographer now. And it's true. Everybody's a photographer. I can't tell
true.
you how many events I shoot, and I have to be like, excuse me, I have a bunch of people like this. And I'm just like, get you move. like, it's
Like I'm
just-
the actual hired
Right,
photographer.
Right. I'm like, I've walked into people because they're standing behind me over my head. They want to get the same angle I'm getting. And,
Right.
and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm like, people, can you
Yeah.
please back up?
it's rough.
Please.
It seems like people don't value pictures anymore.
They don't. I'm often the last person thought of. I get, you don't understand how many phone calls I get a week before an event. Oh, I don't have a photographer. Are you available? And I'm like, you calling now? Because half the time
Right.
I'm busy a month out.
Right. But this is your wedding.
Right.
It's just your wedding.
And I've had people call me 3-4 days before an event. Are you free this weekend? No, I'm not.
It's insane.
And it breaks my heart to tell them that because I'm like, nah, I know you need pictures,
Yeah.
but
It wouldn't break my heart. I'd be
Right,
like, I'd be like, I'm in demand. You shoulda-
and it's just, it's a sad thing sometimes because there's some people who they have these great events and they have no pictures.
Right.
Wow.
Or they just have a bunch of phone pictures from people who think they're photographers.
Right.
And Are there photographers out there who can take pictures with a phone? Absolutely.
Right.
I know a photographer now. For the last 2 years, he's been shooting a lot of weddings on his iPhone.
Right.
But again, when I tell you he's a true photographer, you're like, wow.
So it's different.
You're not gonna shoot my wedding with no iPhone.
Yeah.
I don't care.
And it's I think people sometimes get caught up on you can't shoot that stuff with your phone. Well, you can if you know what you're doing with it. If you know what you're doing. It's the same thing with a camera. If you have a camera, I went to an event one time and this guy had a Canon 5D, big camera, had a big lens, and he's out there. And I was just like, damn, the camera's nice. I was still had my little Sony point and shoot that I started out with. Yeah. And I'm like, damn. And then, I was just like, we were talking, whatever, and I'm looking at the camera. I was like, it's a nice camera. He's like, oh, check it out. I'm looking, and I looked. And I think I explained this to you before. He's shooting on automatic mode.
Right.
So the camera's just doing all the work for you.
Oh, okay.
What's wrong with that, right? You probably think,
I don't know. That's what I shoot on. But I'm not a photographer.
Here's the thing. Any photographer who's worth their salt will tell you it is great to shoot manual mode. Why? Because I can make that picture look however I want to make it look, not what the camera's giving me. Right. What the camera's giving me might not be what I want.
Right.
Every photographer has their style of shooting, the way they like to shoot things, the way they see things. Everybody's vision is different. Mm-hmm. And you take a camera and you just click, that picture you get might not be what you want. Now, as opposed when I'm on manual mode and I'm changing my settings, so I'm going to take a picture of her, I can adjust my settings and I can make her, and she'll be like, oh damn, okay.
That makes sense.
So yeah, that's, and I actually started teaching photography, so I teach now.
Okay.
Anybody who's in.
No, let them plug that. Let them know.
I work for the lady who kind of gave me my first photography lesson. Her name's Mindy Vesset. She works for she has this thing called the Art of Intuitive Photography.
Okay. Shout out Mindy.
Yeah, shout out Mindy. Yeah, she's that's my girl right there. And the first time I went to her house, took a private lesson for 2 hours, spent a whole bunch of money, and I was just like, I had been watching videos, and I was just like, I don't watch videos anymore because they just confuse you. I just go out and practice, and then I'll look up if I did something wrong, how do I correct this?
Okay.
And then I'll go out and try that. Right. But the first thing she told me, she grabbed my camera, she put it on the little M for manual mode, and she said, you're never going to change this camera back again. Never have.
Right.
Been shooting on manual mode now since 2012.
Wow. I always saw the M. I just never knew what the purpose was. And I have tons of cameras, but it's like,
yeah.
Right.
What's the easy one?
Right.
Yeah. So.
But then, like you said, you're not a photographer, so you didn't care. You like having the picture come out and come out.
Yeah, and I discovered early on, like I have my own way I see things. Mm-hmm. So it was imperative that I learned that camera and learned what to do with it, learned how to manipulate it, because you never know where you're going to be put in positions. Even out shooting with him, we could shoot 1 minute, we're in the middle of the street, it's all bright. Next minute, we go inside down some alley, it's dark. Now I have to change things,
right?
To adjust for that. And I like knowing how to adjust and fix, make sure my pictures come out the way I want them. Mm-hmm.
So what lens do you prefer?
What lens do I prefer? Right now, I have a 70 to 200 lens, 70 millimeters to 200 millimeters. Okay. It's about that big.
So you get a close shot.
The results I get with that lens they're amazing. Oh, wow. I love it. Oh. Again, I can shoot with any lens. It doesn't really matter. Right. But that lens right now, I find I've been using it a lot.
Is it good in low light?
Again, that's just knowing your camera.
Oh, okay.
Any camera's good in any light, as long as you know what you're doing with the
aperture,
settings.
Aperture.
All right, here we go. A little photography lesson.
Right, let's go. Photography 101.
I do this with my students
Taught
every
by
Saturday.
Ocie,
Every Saturday,
Clelland.
I teach them about the exposure triangle. Mm-hmm. ISO, aperture, shutter speed.
Okay.
Those three things make or break your picture. Okay. Those are three things. For me to go and explain all what those are, that's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother podcast.
For those, you need to go to the school. Let them teach you. Let them teach you about photography.
Links in my bio.
How do you feel, right? So say you shoot the photo in the style you want it in, the light you want it in, everything, and you send it out to the client, right? Mm-hmm. So you're like, this photo's perfect, and then they change your photo. They edited themselves.
I've had that happen. About a year
How do you
ago.
feel about that when they
I'm gonna be bluntly honest. It is goddamn annoying. I hate it. I'm like, you asked me to take your pictures, and you hired me because you trust me, and then you go, and I had one girl. Now I swear to you, this girl, she worked in the fashion industry.
Okay.
She works for.
Oh, see, why you pointing at me when you said that? Like,
I'm saying you do that.
He said she worked in your industry.
Because you're gonna understand. You're gonna understand what this story I'm about to tell you, why it upset me so much. So, I meet a lot of people. So I met this girl who is a fitness instructor, and I take her pictures every once in a while. She has her own thing online, so she uses a lot for marketing and stuff. So this girl got to me because of this girl, this one woman. So she was like, okay, I'm gonna come. She works for a big fashion name brand.
Okay.
She's one of their fashion buyers, one of their merchandise buyers or whatever.
Okay.
And she came with her clothes and everything. And so backtrack a little bit. So she told me that she got to me through the fitness instructor.
Right.
She works out with her. Mm-hmm. First of all, she can't be anything over 110 pounds.
Oh, wow.
She's tiny, slim.
Right.
I was like, whoa, okay. Makes my job easy. I don't have to worry about too many angles or anything. Everything's cool.
Right.
And then she posts one of the pictures. Now, it takes me a while to post pictures because I have a backlog of pictures.
Right.
Backlog of shoots. Some stuff never even sees the light of day on Instagram. Right. And I looked at the picture and I was like, something didn't look right. It was the picture I took, but it didn't look right. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see what it was in the beginning. And a couple hours later, it was bugging me. And it's about midnight, opened up my computer again. I went on my daughter's tablet, Instagram, and I looked at the picture and I was like, oh my God. This woman had taken her legs and her arms and made them smaller.
Oh my God. And she was
And you said she was 110 pounds?
Already 110 pounds?
That was my first thought. I was like, what the hell did you do that for? You like this big. You what? I was like, why would you do? And I'm looking inside now. I go back because I save all my pictures.
Yeah.
You look in my Google Drive and I have an external hard drive with literally every shoot. I still have the pictures we did. You see, I throw them up in the stories, right?
They just
from
come out of nowhere.
2014. I still have those pictures.
Yeah, they come out of nowhere. I mean,
I save everything. And I went back and I looked at my raw shot, exactly how I took it. I didn't, because I hadn't even edited it yet.
Right.
And I looked at it and I was like, looked at the picture that she posted, looked at mine, looked back, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Did you even call our
So the first thing I try not to be too confrontational. So I called the girl.
Right. The fitness instructor.
Right. And I said, doesn't this person work out with you? She said, yeah. I was like, could you explain to me why she would manipulate the pictures to make herself smaller? She was like, no, she didn't. I said, she did. That's screenshot and I sent it to her. Right. And she was like, I don't know why she would do that. And I was just like, now that kind of stuff, just
right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because it's like, well, what do you have me take pictures for if that was what you were going to do to? I'm, and my wife was just like, well, you took the pictures for her. She can do what you want with them. And I was like, no, don't ruin my pictures like that.
Right, like
but
it's my work.
On the other hand, I get it. She's right. You paid me and took the pictures. They're yours.
It's no longer.
Right.
But I'm not posting them.
Right. Because that's not my image.
And I almost wanted to be like, don't even put my name on that.
Right, because that's your image now. That's right. That's your work of art that you did.
Because like in my head, like you're making people think that something was wrong, that you had to manipulate the picture and do that to it.
Right.
That falls back on me.
That's true.
Or at least that's the way I see it.
No. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
That leads right into my next question. What's the worst photo shoot you've ever done? Like the absolute worst.
Yes. Okay. It was a sister that I shot from Long Island, and she rented the studio, went to the studio, took the pictures. Honestly, I thought the pictures came out pretty good, and this is still pretty early on. I was maybe about 4 or 5 years in.
Okay.
But again, I was confident. I knew what I was doing. And I looked at the picture. I was like, damn, I'm going home like, yeah, like these pictures are cool. I post one. get a DM maybe half an hour later. Can you take that picture down? I was like, huh? She was just like, yeah, no, this is wrong and that's wrong and this is stretch marks here. And I was just like, what? What are you talking? I was like, and I posted another picture. Again, can you take that one down? I was just like, I was like, yo. But I should have known, because when I thought back on it during the shoot, she was like trying to tell me what to do.
Oh, wow.
And I remember asking her at one point, I was just like, do you have a camera, you take pictures? She's like, no. I was like, so how are you telling me what to do? I'm the one with the camera. Yeah. I obviously know what I'm doing. You're here.
Right.
You saw something you liked.
Yeah.
And I was just like, after then, I was just like, I think I deleted all those pictures and was just like, no, done.
Never worked with her again?
Never.
It's insane.
Never.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What about the men? Have the men ever like altered any of their photos?
You know what? Guys are pretty simple. You know, you meet some that are, and it's usually guys who are heavier. They're like, I gotta suck in it. But most of the time, guys are just like,
right. It is what it is. Like this is
guys.
What you see is what you get.
What you see is what you get.
Right.
You know. I've never run into that problem with you. Right. I post whatever, and he's on his stories afterwards. I'm like,
I don't care.
All right,
going
cool.
Right back up.
You know.
How do you feel about selfies?
Cool. I don't take them.
Why is that?
I don't like pictures, first of all.
But how do you feel about people taking selfies of themselves?
Knock yourself out. Yeah, that just doesn't even register. Dude.
I don't know if Mike Vegas is trying to get at me again, but I do not take selfies.
Mike, you mean people or men? Like
men.
Men.
Oh,
men
okay. Just be clear, brother.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. I don't take selfies. I have other people.
I find that hard to believe.
Take photos of me.
Take selfies.
No, I'm just asking.
I don't. Other people take photos of me. But I do not
as far as men
take selfies.
I mean,
even though it's crazy, I'm gonna tell you something. Me and Rashana invented the selfie. We used to work for the NBA, right? And then we
shout out. I used to work there too.
We said we were gonna make a song about it. So this is back. I only think iPhones was out yet. Rashana, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we used to take photos, right? And then we'd be like, oh yeah, I take pictures of myself because I love myself. But it wasn't called the selfie yet. But that's what we would say. Like we were always like, oh, I take pictures of myself because I love myself.
Yeah.
And we had a whole song with it because I'm fly, whatever. Anyway,
as far as men taking selfies, I'm cool with it. I mean, if you
but me as a grown man, I do not take selfies. As a grown man, I don't. So let Mike know I don't take selfies.
You sound you think kind of personal. Right?
I don't know.
And I ain't say no names.
Me neither.
I'm not Joey.
I don't know. I feel if you got an outfit on that you like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's around.
But then you can't see the whole outfit, so that's why I don't take selfies. I would be like, Mike,
you know the angle.
I would definitely have my phone off, be like, Mike, can you take this photo of me, please, kind sir?
I'm just, I just find it kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't do it. I don't like selfies. I don't like pictures. I just don't like pictures. So, you'll never see me like.
You see the face you made? Yeah. That's the face they make. It's like you got a
true story.
Mike, do it again.
One of my first photo shoots. I shot this girl who was a fitness instructor, right? And this was maybe 2013, 2014, somewhere around there. And we're on the Williamsburg Bridge. She gets out there and she does this thing. And I was like, up your head, put your lips back in. This is not no duck lips and no head tilts. Your head straight. And she looked at me like, I was like, yeah, we taking pictures now.
This is a real photo shoot.
Right.
Yo, that's the thing, man. And the guys are doing it too now.
Yeah, trust me, I see it all the time. And I was looking, I'm like,
why are you?
Yeah, I was on the bus. Maybe about a couple weeks ago. Girl was on the bus, phone on the bus. I was like,
not on the bus.
Right, girl.
How do you feel about people taking pictures of their food when they go to restaurants?
We want to know from the world-renowned photographer. We want to know.
I get, okay, let's backtrack. I understand why people take selfies. I understand why people take pictures of their food. I get it. I don't. I just want to eat my food.
Right.
I really don't want to take a picture of it to remember it down the line. I don't.
What do you say?
Sometimes it looks, pretty.
I get it. Like I said, I get it. I understand why people do it.
I used to snap those photos.
Pictures of McDonald's food.
You never see me eat McDonald's food.
Okay, Wendy's, McDonald's,
That's
Chipotle,
not food.
Chipotle.
That's not food.
Right.
That's not food. I wouldn't take a picture of that. Come on.
Right. My wife does it.
Come on.
Yeah, my wife does it a lot.
She'll
She'll
snap
take
photos of the food.
Yeah. And I get it. I mean, I've even helped her sometimes.
I mean, I understand.
She just, like when we went last year, we went away for our anniversary.
Right.
And they gave us a nice little margarita flight. It looked cool. Had some cool colors and everything. So my wife kind of put it up. I saw her taking pictures. I said, wait, babe. I set it up for her the right way. I was like, all right, now go for it.
So
that's a good shot.
Right.
You
support his girl.
You better make it a good shot.
Right. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it right. Especially if I'm here.
Right, yeah. I'm down with her for that.
I like
I'll definitely fix the
he supports her intake.
All right, baby, you good.
I understand the whole ambiance of it, though. Like, the whole restaurant, and you just catch the food
the only time
in
I
the
take pictures
restaurant
of food
shot,
is if, I shot for a vegan restaurant. The guy needed pictures of food for his menu.
Okay.
So you could put on, what we call Uber Eats and stuff like that. So sat there
Like
for
product
3
shots.
hours and took pictures of, he made dishes coming out. That's the only time I take pictures of food.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, I mean, yeah.
If you pay me for it, though.
Right, you
No,
gotta
I
pay
get
to
it.
take pictures.
I feel you. It gotta be kind of interesting just meeting different people and taking
It is.
photos.
It
It's
is.
very personal.
It is.
Very personal. People are very vulnerable
Yes.
at that moment,
Yes. Like I was telling him just before we started, it's like, I walked in here and I was like, oh, shoot. And that's how a lot of people are. And I was like, I got that feeling. That's how some people, I shot people like, I want to do a birthday shoot. This is my first time in front of the camera. And then they walk in, they see the backdrop and the lights, and they're like,
Yeah, that's enough. I was going to ask you that too.
What's going on right now?
How do you
And
make
I'm
them
like,
feel
I'm taking
comfortable?
pictures.
How do you make them feel comfortable in that situation?
Mute music and humor.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Music
for
definitely
people
will
who
set
are
the
like,
tone.
and sometimes I tell them, don't look at the camera. Because some people look at the camera and they get awkward. It's a thing.
Right.
So some people, I try to lighten the mood, put on some music, keep them talking so they're not so focused on the light or the camera. We're just people having a conversation.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know what? I noticed that too. A lot of photographers, they're just having conversations with you and they're just looking at the camera. Yeah, what's up? And then all of a sudden, and then before you know it, they're in full-fledged mode taking a photo shoot.
Right.
And you're like, yo, I just...
And something I also do is, after I take a few pictures, and my first 5 pictures usually is my lighting right? All right, how's my, am I feeling it today? All kinds of different things going through my head. And, I'll walk over to her and be like, this is what we got so far. And then if I see that, oh, okay. So now I'm like, I got them. They're like, okay, I look good. All right, I'm comfortable. All right, let's go. So sometimes, it's a lot of little different tricks and, because getting in front of a camera, it's not easy.
No, it's not.
Whether you have something on or not, it's not easy because the minute somebody focuses on you and it takes that picture, every flaw you have is now there for everyone to see.
Right.
Yeah. Is it hard to take pictures with kids?
Not for me. I work with kids. So I walk with my camera to work. Like on Thursday or Fridays or something, because it's usually a pretty relaxed day. They play a lot. And I'll sit in the corner with my camera and I'll take pictures. I have tons of pictures of my kids. It's also a good marketing tool. So when my parents come in, I'll be like, oh, I took a picture of your child today. Here you go. And I'll airdrop it to them or send it to them.
Okay.
And they're usually like, they'll come back next day and be like, oh my God. And I've had some parents, my child's having a birthday. Do you do birthday parties? Why, yes, I do.
Oh, that's cool.
You understand? So that's why. So I do it it's good practice, number one, because I tell him, I don't think I know it all. I'm not close to knowing it all. I'm constantly learning.
Yeah.
I learn from people. I don't care if you're 2 years in the game.
Yeah.
If you do something that I'm just like, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
And I want to know. So don't ever think you know it all.
Right.
But yeah, I love shooting kids. I love shooting kids. It's easy for me. It's a hard thing to do. I will give you, it is a hard thing. Kids are busy. Kids move a lot.
Yeah, but they don't have an opinion.
No, they don't. No, they don't. But try shooting kids on the wrong setting of a camera. You can get a bunch of blur. They move around too much.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They're not gonna freak.
You
Yeah.
talking about little kid? What about 12, 10, 12, 13?
Well, they're young adults.
Like when you get into like, that 12, 13, and they all like,
Oh yeah.
like, want to take a picture with their phone. Like,
Yeah, I noticed there's two type of kids in
Teenagers are
the
like-
age range though.
So
It's either
corny.
kids that don't
a
want
little
to
bit
take.
annoying.
Yeah, like,
but I
please.
recently shot a teenager. He came with his mother, but he asked his mother if he could cut. He came from Pennsylvania to shoot with me
Oh wow.
because I shot his cousin,
Okay.
who happened to be one of my students way back when.
Yeah.
Then when she turned 18, she called me up. Mr. Ocie, can you do some pictures? I said, sure. He saw her pictures because he was there
Yeah.
and had his mother get up on a Sunday and drive his behind to New York
Oh wow.
so he could take pictures with me.
Well, that's cool.
So, and he was great. He loved it. He was enjoying it. He jumped off his
Damn, huh?
stuff. He was loving it.
Oh,
he
wow.
got his outfit together. Yeah, it was a fire shoot. It was
So
fun.
OC telling y'all he getting the money. That's what it is. OC gets the money.
Yeah.
It's always nice to do what you love, right?
Yeah, definitely. And it's never work.
Yeah. That's what they say, right?
Yeah, I tell people I could take pictures all day long. I don't. I've left the house on a Saturday and just get on the train with no real destination in mind. Wherever my mind tells me get off the train, I get off the train. Take out my camera and walk around and I'll shoot whatever I see.
Oh wow.
And I saw you sold some of those photos
Yes.
also, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just some
I
of
didn't
your
even,
images.
the funny thing is I didn't even look at that until pandemic hit.
Right.
I was just sitting here. I was sitting around one day, and one of my friends was at my house, and I think he had just moved or something. He asked me, he's like, "You have any pictures?" Like, and I was like, "Yeah." It's like I have a ton of pictures. So I was like, "Go on my Facebook, look at my what do you call it, the cover photo? I have tons of them there. Go look through them." He did. Ended up buying one.
Oh wow.
Another one of my wife's friends from Jersey. She moved to a new house in Jersey, and I posted this one picture that I took. It was probably a little while before I met you. I have a friend who repairs and maintains elevators and like skyscrapers and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and he's also an insane photographer. Man, good guy. So he was like, "Yo," he's like, "You want to come up to the top of whatever building?" So I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, meet me at 4:30 in the morning." I was like, what? What? 4:30 in the morning.
Wow.
He's like,
Now,
this is
at
the
the time,
shot.
I was living in Springfield Gardens. You know how long it took me to get to the city? I had to leave my house at like 3 in the morning, which means I had to get up at like 2.
Because there's
Which means
no
I barely
buses running
slept.
that early. Well, yeah, but
They're on a schedule, so
yeah,
if
and
I
there's
miss
no dollar
one,
van.
right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I went out there with him and took this picture from on top of a building. I think it was on Madison Avenue or something. By the time it was daytime, it was about 8 o'clock in the morning. There's traffic everywhere. And took this picture, and my wife's friend saw it, and she was like, "I want this picture for my house." I was like, "Okay." So she had me printed up. I think it was like a 20 by 16 or something like that.
That was pretty big.
Put it in the
Yeah.
house. So then I was just like, I need to start.
It's a whole new revenue.
Yeah. So every once in a while, if I take something like, and if it speaks to me, first thing I'll do, I'll print it up.
So you
So I
take
have-
landscape pictures.
I love land. That's how I started.
Oh, okay.
I liked landscapes. So I was like, they don't talk back. They don't have a good side or a bad side.
Yeah.
That's what I hear from people. So I honestly, for my first year or two, I was like, I'm not shooting people. I was like, I don't want to shoot people. I was like, to get my good side. This is my good side.
Right.
My eyes a little this, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that. I was like, the builders don't talk back. I'll
Speaking
shoot them.
Speaking of the good and bad, you have had hygiene issues with people you've been shooting. Like, has it been? Have you come across that at all? Like, well, someone might not even smelling so lovely, or their breath, or
they put
just
it-
anything.
You know what? Honestly,
their
not
hair.
yet. Not yet.
Okay, that's
yet.
good.
Not yet.
Because most people out here don't smell too good.
They don't.
They don't. They don't
yeah,
keeping
no,
up with
no,
their
not yet.
hygiene, so that's good.
Not yet. And I have a pretty steady stable of people that always need pictures, and by now they know how I deal, so they come ready.
Yeah.
Take a shower before. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So tell me this: you like? Because I know colored pictures and black and white pictures tell a different story. It could be the same picture, but if you put it in black and white, it'll tell a different story.
Sure.
Why is that?
The absence of color. Color to me makes you kind of look and go, wow, this is, like I'm looking at you guys right now. I'm like, damn, this hat matched that shirt. Nice. if it's in black and white now, I'm looking at that like I'm wondering like what color shirt are you wearing? What color hat is it? It's telling a different story. It's making me wonder more. And I think the mystery of black and white is what people love.
Yeah, I love black and white pictures.
I love black and white pictures. Yeah,
Yeah, I love them. It's just
I've done whole shoots in black and white.
Yeah.
Also, Mike Vegas is colorblind. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that on the show.
That's kind of personal.
Okay.
You said it already. Come on, man.
Mike Vegas is colorblind, so that's why he asked that. He probably doesn't even know that hat is orange. He probably thinks it's a shade of brown.
that.
You know, I don't feel like you need color necessarily. Sometimes color helps tell the story
I have
a
an
little
uncle
bit
that's a
better.
painter, and he's colorblind. And he's an excellent painter.
It's like
Excellent.
blind people who play pianos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I'm basically saying you're a genius, Mike Vegas.
Yeah, and I love. I think some of my favorite pictures have been black and white.
Yeah.
I love black and white. Yeah.
I know this old photographer. He lives in Casina, Bernie. Old Bernie. He used to come to my store and sell 8x10 pictures of like Dizzy Gillespie, and he took all of them. He was
Really?
like back then. He was like
Wow.
He was in the 60s or 70s. He was in the 70s back then. So he took pictures of presidents. He took pictures of. I had pictures with Harry Belafonte, Martin Luther King. I had pictures of Don King. I'm talking about way back. Thomas Hearns. I have Sidney Poitier. I have old pictures. I used to buy them. $10. Let me get that one, that one, that one. And used to have a lot of old pictures, black and whites, and I'm like, yo, this is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
It's just a different.
It's a different
It is,
feel.
yeah.
It gives pictures to me. It's just a more timeless feel. Like you could look at a black and white 20 years from now,
Yes,
and it'll give you the same feeling it did 20 years before.
Yeah, it's like you know how sometimes people have pictures in their house and a lot of them be color. It's like the color, the balance is off. You got this color of this picture, then you take this color, this color. But if you do all black and white, it just gives like a
uniform sort
yeah,
of
it's just
feel.
a different, it's a
Definitely.
different look. It's just
Definitely.
really cool,
Mhm.
you know. But I guess everybody's different.
Yeah,
you know?
everybody's different. Everybody has their own little vision and how they see things. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I definitely love black and white. I've done, like I said, I've done whole shoots in black and white. Just like, all right, we're shooting black and white today. All right.
All right, one more question, then we're going to get you out of here, Ocie. So, what do you feel like? Do you feel like you've given anything up by, doing photography? Or what did you have to sacrifice to be able to do photography to the level that you do it?
My money. Photography is an expensive hobby. Very expensive.
As far as the
Camera, lenses.
Quality, if you want good quality.
Not just, people look at the camera lenses, which is expensive enough. The stuff to maintain it. The SD cards, which will go bad. I buy probably about 10 a month. I buy them all the time. Some people, I'll take pictures of some people I can't, and they don't want anybody to see it, so I have to give them the card.
I hope they pay for the card.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I got tons of cards, tons of those. Things to clean your camera, a bag for the camera. Of course, we were talking about studio space. I mean, everything is a cost. If I want to get my camera looked at, if I feel something's wrong there, I got to pay for somebody to, check it out, make sure it's working properly, and the flashes, the diffusers. I even have a changing tent. If I'm outside in the middle of Central Park, somebody needs to change.
They make those?
Yeah.
I didn't
have
know
a
that.
nice 6-foot changing tent.
6 foot by what?
It's probably, I would say it's about that wide. It's big enough to hold a person.
To change your clothes.
Yeah, to change their
I
clothes.
never knew they made that.
Yeah, I have one that have
I
that.
never knew that.
Yeah, all those little things, it adds up. I'm like, I sit there sometimes and I'm like,
dope.
when I'm like, sometimes I'm cleaning up and like taking inventory. What do I need? And I look at this, I'm like, I have all this stuff. Like, how did I get all this stuff? I have my wife's always just like, babe, your camera stuff is everywhere. That's the only thing she complains about. My camera stuff is everywhere.
It's a business. So it's a business.
Yeah.
You
I
have
have pictures, so I have a printed up a picture that I took in New Hampshire years ago, and I printed up 2 feet by 3 feet. Huge. My wife loves it though. And she puts it up during the wintertime because it's a picture of we were in New Hampshire. We went went on a getaway like after Christmas, a long time ago. Yeah. And I left her taking a nap, took my camera, walked out. It's snowing, and I walked down the street and saw this barn. 2 horses were outside. The trees looking all barren.
I need to see
snow
this.
on the ground, and I just went.
dope.
I went. Yes. I said, yeah. Took that picture, and it's one of my favorite pictures I've ever taken.
Why you ever try to put it on, up for sale?
No, I like it too much. I don't want anybody else to have that anything else, but that one I've never put up for sale. And I've been asked about it. There's people seeing it hanging in my house and been like,
right.
how much you gonna charge for that? I'm not. You cannot have it.
Yeah.
Unforsellable.
Yeah, it's unsellable. Can't sell that one.
Yeah, unsellable.
And you know what that is? That's the true price of fame.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yep, that is the truth.
Fashion, art.
Music, and entertainment.
Yeah.
And we
Thank you,
out.
Ocie, for dropping in.
Yes,
We
sir.
appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, man.
Savage
This
Rogers,
is pretty
Mike
cool.
Vegas, Queen Nices.
Very nice.
Next time.
Janine.
Definitely. Thank you, brothers.